Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, nothing ever sticks? Love slips away. Money arrives, then vanishes. Every time you finally feel close to peace, it crumbles. What if that wasn't your fault? What if it was timing, cosmic timing? You were never meant to outrun Virgo. Listen closely, because June isn't just another month, it's a spiritual earthquake. And you're standing right at the fault line. The universe has been rearranging everything behind the scenes. People disappearing, plans falling through, energy crashing, then rising again. You're not losing it. You're being prepared. Because something massive is about to break open, and it has your name written all over it. This is the moment your soul has been circling back to for lifetimes. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess it up. You were just being held back on purpose until now. So tell me, what time is it exactly as you're seeing this comment, the hour and the minute? Because I'll tell you what that number means and why that exact moment is part of your cosmic code. You're not just watching this. You were summoned every few decades. The stars realign to form a rare window of energy, one that doesn't just influence your emotions, but alters the very timeline you're on. And in just a few days, when Jupiter enters Cancer, that window cracks open. But here's the thing, it won't stay open long. This isn't just a planetary shift, it's a spiritual event. Jupiter governs expansion, wisdom, higher truth. Cancer governs roots, home, emotional safety. When the largest planet moves into the most nurturing sign, it creates a space for transformation that reaches all the way down to your soul. And Virgo, you're not just witnessing this, you're standing at the center of it. You see, while other signs may brush this off as another transit, you've been feeling the buildup for weeks. Maybe in your sleep patterns, maybe in your dreams, maybe in the quiet urge to clean out your space or cut off a draining connection. That's not coincidence, that's activation. This gateway is designed to unlock everything you've suppressed, the vision you buried under responsibility, the dream you told yourself was unrealistic, the peace you traded for control. But it comes with a condition, presence. You must show up fully. You must claim it. Don't wait for another sign. This is the sign. Your spiritual DNA is waking up because something holy is approaching. And if you choose to align with it, Virgo, life will never look the same again. Let's ground this in real life. Think about the last time you stood at a crossroads and chose safety over your soul's truth. Think about the ache that followed. The what if that haunted you. This time, the universe is giving you a second chance, but only if you're brave enough to act. Because regret doesn't come from failing. It comes from not showing up at all. This is your moment to choose something else, something wild, something alive. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to feel the truth in your body and move. Because the stars, they've already done their part. Now it's your turn. Let's talk about that one person you can't seem to forget. Not because you're stuck, not because you haven't moved on, but because somewhere deep down, their presence feels unfinished, like an open loop in your soul. Virgo, you've always been the grounded one, the one who thinks things through, the one who walks away with grace, even when your heart is breaking. But when it comes to this connection, this twin flame, karmic soulmate, or however you've tried to label it, logic hasn't worked, time hasn't erased it, and silence hasn't killed it. And now, just as Jupiter prepares to enter Cancer, stirring emotions from the depths of your subconscious, that energy is rising again. You might have already felt it, dreams where their face suddenly appears, a song that hits too hard, or random memories flooding back without warning. This isn't nostalgia. This is activation. Twin flame dynamics aren't romantic fairy tales. They're spiritual assignments. They arrive to shake the dust off your soul, to rip open the wounds you've tried to manage, and to remind you what you're here to heal. They don't stay because it's comfortable. They appear because it's necessary. And Virgo, for someone like you, so skilled at control, so devoted to logic, this kind of connection feels like chaos, like a betrayal of everything you've used to protect yourself. That's why it left a scar. That's why it still echoes. But here's what's wild: Jupiter in Cancer isn't just about bringing them back. It's about giving you the clarity to finally understand why they showed up in the first place. Maybe they were never meant to stay. Maybe they were only meant to wake you up. Sometimes the most profound purpose of a relationship is not to last forever, but to initiate your evolution. So, if their name still stings, if their absence still speaks louder than most people's presence, you're not broken. You're being rebuilt. And this moment, the one you're in right now, it's not just a loop, it's a turning point. What you do with the energy of this connection now will determine whether it becomes another cycle or the catalyst that changes everything. If you're ready to end the emotional loop and finally learn the lesson this soul was sent to teach, you must face it. Not by calling them, not by waiting on closure, but by reclaiming the part of yourself you gave away when they entered your life. That part of you, the trusting part, the dreaming part, the open part, it's still there. It just got buried under hurt. And now, as this portal opens, it's time to bring it back, because this journey was never about them. It was always about you. And if you're feeling that tightness in your chest right now, that lump in your throat, it's not just sadness. It's a signal that healing wants to happen, that freedom is knocking, and you don't need them to answer it for you. You can choose to close this karmic loop with grace, not because they apologized, but because you're ready to evolve. Let it end here. Let it begin with you. Let's be real for a second. Something inside you has been shifting, hasn't it? It's subtle at first. Maybe you feel more tired than usual, even when you've had enough sleep. Maybe you're feeling emotional out of nowhere, like waves of grief or joy crashing through you without warning. Or maybe you've started waking up at the same time every night, heart pounding, not knowing why. Virgo, what you're feeling isn't random, it's activation. Your spiritual DNA, the coding that's been dormant inside you, is coming online. And it's happening now, as Jupiter aligns with Cancer and cracks open the gateway to deep inner knowing. This isn't just energy talk. This is biology meeting soul memory. Every one of us has a blueprint, a sacred instruction set we carry in our cells. Most people never access it. But for some, especially those born under signs of service and insight like Virgo, this awakening happens when the cosmos demands more from you. And right now the demand is loud and clear. You're being upgraded. You may find yourself drawn to old interests with new urgency, spiritual texts, meditation, energy healing, intuitive tools, or maybe your body is reacting, needing cleaner food, more rest, less noise. It's all part of the recalibration. You're not breaking down, you're breaking open. And here's what most people don't realize: awakening isn't glamorous. It's messy. It's exhausting. It shakes everything that's false out of you so what's real can finally take root. And Virgo, you're not crazy, you're not weak, you're not falling apart. You're shedding skins that no longer belong to the frequency you're stepping into. Think of it like this. Your system is running an outdated version of your identity. This cosmic upgrade, it's the install button you didn't know you pressed. So how do you navigate it? First, ground yourself. Walk barefoot. Get outside. Drink water. Breathe deeply. Do not underestimate how physical this transformation is. Your body is the vessel, and it needs care. Second, stop judging your feelings. They're not glitches. They're signals. Let the tears come. Let the laughter spill. Let the waves move through. That's how energy clears. Third, make space for silence. The answers you're seeking are already inside you, but they need room to rise. This isn't just about being spiritual. It's about becoming real, becoming whole. You've carried identities that were never yours to begin with. You've played roles to keep others comfortable. You've dimmed yourself to survive. But now, all of that is being burned off. And what remains, Virgo, is the truest version of you, raw, radiant, and ready. If you've been feeling pulled to isolate, to sit in the quiet, to declutter your world, follow that pull. You're not disappearing, you're distilling, you're becoming potent. And as the spiritual DNA activates, you'll start to recognize things, patterns, people, even past choices with shocking clarity. It's like the fog lifts. You see what's yours and what never was. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So don't resist this process. Don't rush it. Let the shedding be sacred. This upgrade is preparing you not just to receive miracles, but to hold them, to steward them, to embody them. You're not just aligning with your higher self, you're becoming it. And that, Virgo, is the real magic. Let's talk about money, but not in the way the world usually does. This isn't about hustle culture or working 80 hours a week. This is about alignment, about flow, about understanding that lasting wealth isn't just something you chase, it's something you allow. And Virgo, you've been taught to earn everything, to prove your worth through hard work, to overgive, overthink, and override your own needs to feel like you've deserved the reward. But Jupiter entering Cancer is here to change all of that. Because when this expansion planet moves into the realm of emotional security and inner nourishment, the message is clear. It's not about grinding anymore. It's about receiving. Your financial abundance isn't coming because you did more. It's coming because you finally aligned with who you truly are. That means letting go of guilt when blessings come easily. That means trusting that your energy alone can magnetize opportunities without you having to push so hard. Look around. The signs are already showing up. Unexpected refunds, delayed payments suddenly processed, people offering help without being asked, a new opportunity that feels aligned without being forced. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmation that your vibration is shifting. But here's the deal, you can't receive fully if you're still living in survival mode. If you still believe that life is always uphill, that money is always scarce, that every gain must be paid for with emotional debt, you'll miss what's trying to come in. You weren't born to struggle. You were born to serve with joy, to create with heart, and to receive with open hands. So how do you move from scarcity to sacred wealth? Start by noticing where you self-sabotage. Do you undercharge for your gifts? Say yes to things you resent later. Delay investing in your own growth because you're afraid it's too much. That's not being responsible, that's being stuck in lack. The universe is asking you to trust the new equation-aligned energy plus soul truth = overflow. And Virgo, when you're in overflow, you don't just survive, you lift others too. That's your magic. You were never meant to hoard or fear money. You were meant to be a channel, a steward, a lighthouse that shows others what's possible when you walk in integrity and trust. And during this transit, abundance becomes personal. It's not just about dollars. It's about nourishment, emotional security, opportunities that feed your spirit, not just your wallet. This could look like finally leaving a job that drains you and landing a new one that honors your value, or saying no to one client and making space for 3 aligned ones, or creating something of your own that becomes a source of both income and impact. It won't look the same for everyone, but the feeling is unmistakable. It's ease, not laziness, but grace. And the more you allow that ease, the more magnetic you become, not just to money, but to love, peace, opportunity, and freedom. So if you've been waiting for a sign that your energy is enough, that your worth is no longer tied to exhaustion, this is it. You don't have to prove anything to be provided for. You just have to believe that you're already worthy and act like it. Because when Virgo believes they deserve to receive, the gates open. Let's talk about letting go, not in theory, but in truth. Because Virgo, if there's one thing you've mastered, it's holding on to routines, to loyalty, to timelines, to people who haven't met you halfway in years. You hold on not because you're weak, but because you care deeply, because you see potential, because part of you believes if you just fix it, It'll finally feel safe. But here's the truth. The portal you're stepping into cannot carry the weight of what's already expired. Old versions of yourself, old connections, old stories. If you bring them with you, they will distort the new timeline you're meant to enter. And the cost of holding on is no longer invisible. It's emotional fatigue. It's blocked intuition. It's opportunities passing you by while you try to revive something that already served its purpose. And I get it. You're not someone who quits. You're someone who digs in, figures it out, makes it work. But the shadow side of that gift is staying too long where your soul has already outgrown. You don't need more time. You need more truth. So what does detachment look like now? It's not coldness. It's not pretending you never cared. It's recognizing that love doesn't always mean staying, that some chapters need to close so the story can finally move forward. It might mean unfollowing that person who still tugs at your energy. It might mean clearing out objects in your home that tie you to pain. It might even mean having a conversation you've avoided for months. And yes, it might hurt, but the pain of release is a different kind of pain. It's clean, it's sacred, it's the kind of pain that creates space. Virgo, you don't have to carry it all anymore. You've already proven your strength. You've shown your loyalty. You've done your part. Now, the universe is asking for a different kind of courage, the courage to let go. Because what's coming next cannot arrive while your hands are still full. And here's something no one talks about enough. Sometimes we keep old pain alive just to feel connected to something, to someone. As if letting go would mean the experience didn't matter. But detaching doesn't erase meaning. It honors it, and then releases it with grace. So today, give yourself permission to break your own patterns. Write the goodbye letter you never sent. Delete the draft you keep rereading. Burn the journal page. Cry in the shower. Whatever it takes to release the energy. Because as long as your energy is tangled with what no longer serves you, your frequency can't fully match the life that's trying to find you. And Virgo, I promise you what's ahead is so much lighter, so much clearer, so much more aligned, but only if you make space for it. You are not betraying your past by choosing your future. You're honoring your growth. You're saying yes to the version of you who no longer needs to shrink to fit where you no longer belong. Let it fall away, not because you've given up, but because you've woken up. And if you're still scared, that's okay too. Let the fear come. Sit with it. But don't let it drive. You are allowed to mourn the old life while still choosing the new one. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. The portal doesn't require perfection. It just requires truth. And your truth is enough. Virgo, let's zoom out for a moment. Have you ever looked back on a difficult season of your life and suddenly realized why it had to happen? The betrayal, the loss, the silence. The moment everything fell apart, it didn't break you. It shaped you. It stripped away what was false so what was true could finally emerge. And right now, that truth is rising to the surface. This is your destiny realignment. The moment the universe gently but firmly pulls you back onto the path you were always meant to walk. Even if you wandered, even if you doubted, even if you resisted. You see, destiny isn't some distant future event. It's happening now. It's the choices you make when no one's watching. The quiet whispers you follow. The courage you summon to choose a higher road when the lower one is more familiar. And Virgo, this isn't the beginning of your story. This is the moment the pieces finally start to make sense. The challenges you faced, they weren't punishment. They were preparation. The relationships that ended, they created space. The delays you hated, they protected your timing. You weren't being punished. You were being positioned. And now, with this realignment, the clarity you've been craving is arriving not as lightning, but as soft inner knowing, the kind that brings peace, not adrenaline, truth, not just answers. You'll start to see connections that once confused you suddenly click into place. Patterns reveal their purpose. And most importantly, you'll begin to trust yourself again. That's the gift. That's the shift. Because no matter how far you've strayed from your soul's truth, you are never too far to return. So what does realignment look like? It looks like saying no to what dims your light, even if it's familiar. It looks like saying yes to what scares you, because it's finally true. It's walking into rooms where you don't have to shrink to be accepted. It's building a life that doesn't just look good on the outside, but feels good on the inside. And Virgo, you deserve that. Not someday, not after you earn it, but now. So as this energy rises, ask yourself, what am I being called to return to? What version of me is ready to come home? Because the path ahead isn't just about more, it's about meaning, about depth, about alignment. And when you walk in alignment, doors open not by force, but by frequency. This is your moment to stop surviving and start living in a way that honors the journey it took to get here. Your story is sacred, and the universe is not finished writing it, not even close. You've been quiet for so long, Virgo, not because you had nothing to say, but because no one ever truly listened. And somewhere along the way, you convinced yourself that being silent was safer, that staying small kept the peace, that being the strong one meant carrying it all without ever breaking. But deep down, you knew that wasn't the truth. Because even in your stillness, your soul never stopped speaking. It whispered through the sleepless nights, the tightness in your chest, the ache in your stomach when something felt wrong but you stayed anyway. And now, all those whispers have become a roar. You can feel it. Can't you? Something rising in you, not anger, not pain, but power. A quiet, sacred power. The kind that doesn't ask for permission. The kind that doesn't beg to be understood. The kind that knows I was never meant to fit. I was meant to shift everything I enter. So take a breath. Because what's about to happen next isn't just healing. It's ignition. And then, Virgo, something inside you snaps, but in the best way possible. Not a breakdown, a breakthrough. You stop begging the universe for clarity. You stop explaining your worth to people who never truly saw you. You stop asking life to choose you, because suddenly, you realize you are the one you've been waiting for. That deep voice inside you. It was never wrong, just buried beneath noise, fear, and timelines that were never meant to fit you. This isn't just healing. This is resurrection. The version of you that almost gave up. They're watching in awe. Because the one who rises now is unstoppable. Doesn't shrink. Doesn't explain. Doesn't apologize. You're not becoming someone new. You're finally becoming you. And the universe, it feels that it roars in response. Doors fly open, energies align. People can feel your presence when you enter a room, and they know something just changed. This time, you're not asking to be seen, you're making the world adjust its vision. This isn't the part where things end. This is the moment everything begins. Not someday. Now, let your life reflect who you've become, not who you were forced to be. Release the version of yourself built in survival and make room for the version led by intention, intuition, and inner peace. You're not behind, you're right on time, Virgo. This is the moment we've been building toward. Not months, lifetimes, because in exactly 3 days, the energetic shift begins when Jupiter enters Cancer and the cosmic portal fully opens. And when I say portal, I don't mean a metaphor. I mean a vibrational opening where timelines collapse and rewrite themselves. For you, this isn't astrology, it's activation. The next 72 hours hold a rare frequency, one where your actions carry exponential momentum. One aligned decision, one brave move, one small leap of faith could unlock changes that would normally take years. But here's the thing, if you hesitate, the window closes just as quickly. Think of it like catching a wave. You don't wait until it's already passed. You have to feel it building, trust its power, and leap with everything you've got. So ask yourself, what have you been putting off? What truth have you been silencing? What version of you is still waiting for permission? This is your permission. This is the universe screaming yes in every direction. But here's what makes this powerful. Only those who are present will notice it. Most people won't. They'll scroll past it, numb out, distract themselves. But you're still here, listening, feeling. That alone means your soul is awake. So in these next 3 days, don't rush, but don't retreat either. Reflect, reorganize, write down the dream you've buried, light a candle, speak aloud what you're ready to receive. Make a choice you've been delaying, not because you're ready, but because your readiness comes when you move. Now, let's talk about what happens after, because this isn't about a one-time miracle. This is a turning point that sets off a chain of miracles if you stay aligned. And staying aligned doesn't mean being perfect. It means being honest, consistent, brave enough to check in with yourself every day and ask, am I still choosing my highest path? It means listening to your body, trusting your energy, saying no faster, saying yes louder. It means showing up, not just when you feel confident, but especially when you don't. Virgo, your life is not meant to stay the same. It's meant to stretch, expand, surprise you. So here's your final call to action. Don't just hear this, live it. If something in this message woke something up inside you, write it down, speak it, comment it below. Let the universe know you're not asleep at the wheel anymore. And if you want more guidance like this, if you want to make sure you never miss another divine moment, subscribe. Share this with another Virgo who might need to hear it, or someone who's forgotten how powerful they are. You're not alone in this. You're not behind. You're right on divine time. And the best part, it's only just beginning. Let today be the day you stopped shrinking and started showing up. Let this moment be the one where you remembered who you were before the world told you to be anything else. You're not meant to survive this life. You're meant to light it up.